Hello everybody! In today's video, I'll be talking about literary censorship and giving you my opinion on if it's a good or bad idea, but more specifically about To Kill a Mockingbird. But first, we need to understand what does it mean exactly. Literary censorship can be defined as the suppression of written works, such as books, essays, or articles. But the main factor is that it must be written. Now that we understand its definition, let's be a little bit more specific and talk about the different components that make up literary censorship. And it contains four main parts. First of all, what is censored? Is it a part of the text or is it the entire text? Second of all, we have why is it censored? So the actual judgment made against the text. Third of all, we have who censors it? The judger, the accuser. It's generally someone with some sort of authority. And finally, we have what influenced his judgment, the ideological force and base that pushed him to make his action. For example, religion, politics, ethics, etc. It can be anything. We can think of the censorship performed by directives and administrators back in 2018 in the Peel District School Board in Ontario, Canada, where To Kill a Mockingbird was banned because its themes were too violent and repressive towards black students, and that black parents detested the idea of their kids having to read this book. The memo stated that the use of racist text to start a discussion about racism is hardly for the benefit of the students who already experience it, and that the use of the N-word racial slur adds to the violence of the book. Note that this type of censorship can happen before or after the publication of the work. Now that we understand what book banning really is, let's dive more into its effects. In the domain of literature, books are generally censored with good intentions behind them. For example, a book could show racism, discrimination, or just simply be offending. And in these cases, banning the book seems like a favorable idea, but it isn't always the case. Book bans could achieve the opposite of their desired effects. For instance, it could play a significant role by limiting access to different ideologies and perspectives from being studied or analyzed. It could prevent authors from writing about sensitive topics and even discourage them from writing ever again completely. This can deeply affect literature by keeping people from talking about delicate, yet important subjects like sexual content, offensive languages, content related to race, gender, identity, LGBTQ, and more. And now comes the great question. Should To Kill a Mockingbird be censored? In my opinion, no. I do not think To Kill a Mockingbird should be censored. In fact, I even encourage more people to read about it in school or whenever they have free time, because To Kill a Mockingbird talks about a variety of concerning themes that need to be addressed correctly, such as prejudice or racism, but are instead swept under the rug, hidden from the public face. It can also affect another major element in our world, society and politics. Books provide ideas, and ideas are the foundations of every hierarchy system. This can create a catastrophic domino effect that will lead our community to dystopia. It might look like I'm exaggerating, but you have to understand that these types of books aren't written only to spread awareness. They are also here to change the future, and we are talking about fundamental human rights and equalities that should be respected globally. Furthermore, it violates people's freedom of speech, which is another rudimentary right every human being possesses. Here are three book-specific examples to strengthen further my point. First of all, TKMB teaches us important moral lessons, and To Kill a Mockingbird, values such as integrity, equality, or even empathy are dominant throughout the entire book, at least in Atticus's eye, which is why he's such an important role model in this story. He, as a widower and a dad of two children, encourages his kids when they do the right thing, like reading for Miss DuBose, and confronts them when they do something wrong, even for a good cause, like when Scout started a fight early in the book in school in order to defend his father. But most importantly, his defense for Tom Robinson really teaches us the principal lesson of the book, which is to stand up for what is right, even if everyone around you disagrees. Second of all, TKMB illustrates beautifully how prejudice is created. Throughout the entire book, we follow Scout, a 6 to 8 years old tomboy who loves playing with his older brother Jem, as she discovers and learns about the world and people around her. In the beginning, Scout saw everything without an understanding of racism or why people act the way they do. But with her innocence and unawareness of the town's social codes, readers are able to grow alongside her and learn on how prejudice is slowly built up as well as how easy it is to stop it. In the scenario where a group of mobs try to kill Tom in his jail cell, it is excellently shown how a simple humanitarian comment is able to stop an entire murder plan, and encourages empathy and provokes readers to reflect on unfairness and prejudice, just like how Scout does in the book. And finally, TKMB exposes the flaws of a racist legal system. Near the start in the second part of the book, we finally get to Tom Robinson's trial, and it does not go well. Despite clear and concrete evidence that defends Tom, all of the white juries convict him simply because his skin is black and the accuser is white. This really demonstrates how racism can wrongly influence not just attitudes, but important decisions like these where someone's life is on the line. This book really gave its all to criticize how corrupt and biased the justice system was back in the days, especially in the South of America. You've reached the end of this video! I hope you guys understood my reasoning behind why Killing Mockingbird should in fact not be banned, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.